Hi, I'm Marie Story, Corporate Wellbeing Consultant from Walsh Sheffield. And today I'm here to talk about finding balance stress management. If you're living with high levels of stress, you're putting your entire well-being at risk. We know stress wreaks havoc on your emotional equilibrium, as well as your physical health. It narrows your ability to think clearly, function effectively, and even enjoy life. It may seem like there's nothing you can do about stress. The bills won't stop coming. There will never be more hours in the day, and your work and family responsibilities will always be there, but you have a lot more control than you think. Effective stress management helps you break the hold stress has on your life so you can be happier, healthier, and more productive. The ultimate goal is a balanced life with time for work, relationships, relaxation, and fun, and the resilience to hold up under pressure and meet challenges head on. But stress management is not one size fits all. That's why it's important to experiment and find out what works best for you. The following stress management tips can help you do just that. The fight or flight response is what happens in the body when you feel threatened. Your nervous system responds by releasing a flood of stress hormones, including adrenaline and cortisol, which rouse the body for emergency action. Your heart pounds faster, your muscles will tighten, your blood pressure rises, your breath will quicken, and your senses become sharper. These physical changes increase your strength and your stamina to speed up your reaction time and enhance your focus, preparing you to either fight or flee from the danger at hand. However, with prolonged stress, this can cause physical and emotional issues. Physical symptoms can be aches and pains. We've all probably had that in our neck, our back, our shoulders. It can be diarrhea or constipation, nausea, dizziness, chest pain, a rapid heart rate, loss of sex drive, and even frequent colds or flu as your immune system weakens. For everybody, it's different, and it's important to know how stress impacts you. There are also emotional signs of too much stress. They can be depression or just general unhappiness, anxiety and agitation or irritability, moodiness, anger, feeling overwhelmed, or lonely, or isolated. These are all very normal emotional signs of stress, and again, very different for every individual, but important to note, how do you feel when you're stressed? And stress management really starts with identifying the sources of stress in your life. This isn't as straightforward as it sounds. While it's easy to identify major stressors such as changing jobs, moving, or going through divorce, pinpointing the source of chronic, long-term stress can be more complicated. It's all too easy to overlook how your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors actually contribute to your everyday stress levels. Sure, you may know that you're constantly worried about work deadlines, but maybe it's your procrastination rather than the actual job demands that's causing the additional stress. To identify your true sources of stress, look closely at your habits, attitudes, and excuses. For example, do you explain away stress as temporary? Maybe I just have a million things going on right now, even though you can't remember the last time you took a breather? Do you define stress as an integral part of your work or home life? Things are always crazy around here. Or as a part of your personality, I just have a lot of nervous energy, that's all. Do you blame your stress on other people or outside events, or view it as entirely normal and unexceptional? Until you accept responsibility for the role you play in creating or maintaining it, your stress level will remain outside your control. But there's a lot of great things that we can do. One of the first tips I want to talk about are the 4 A's. The first A here is to avoid unnecessary stress. It's not healthy to avoid a stressful situation that needs to be addressed, but you may be surprised by the number of stressors in your life that you can actually eliminate. Learn how to say no. Know your limits and stick to them. Whether you're in your personal or professional life, taking on more than you can handle is a surefire recipe for stress. Distinguish between the shoulds and the musts, and when possible, say no to taking on too much. Avoid people who stress you out. If someone consistently causes stress in your life, limit the amount of time you spend with that person, or if possible, end the relationship, which cannot always be the case. Take control of your environment if you can. If the evening news makes you anxious, turn off the TV. If traffic makes you tense, take a longer, less traveled route. If going to the grocery store is an unpleasant chore, do your grocery shopping online. Pare down your to-do list. Analyze your schedule and your responsibilities and the daily tasks you have. If you got too much on your plate, drop tasks that aren't really necessary to the bottom of the list or eliminate them altogether. You can also alter the situation. If you can't avoid a stressful situation, try to alter it. Often this involves changing the way you communicate and operate in your daily life. Express your feelings instead of bottling them up. If something or someone is bothering you, be more assertive and communicate your concerns in an open and respectful way. If you've got a big project at work and your chatty coworker just popped in, say up front that you only have 5 minutes to talk. If you don't voice your feelings, resentment will build and the stress will increase. And be willing to compromise. When you ask someone to change their behavior, be willing to do the same. If you are both willing to bend at least a little, you'll have a good chance of finding a happy middle ground. And then create a balanced schedule. All work and no play is again a recipe for burnout. Try to find a balance between work and family life, social activities and solitary activities, daily responsibilities, and downtime. And then adapt to the stressor. If you can't change the stressor, change yourself. You can adapt to stressful situations and regain your sense of control by changing your expectations and attitude. You can do this by reframing problems. Try to view stressful situations from a more positive perspective. Rather than fuming about a traffic jam, look at it as an opportunity to pause and regroup. Listen to your favorite podcast or enjoy some alone time. Look at the big picture. Take perspective of the stressful situation. Ask yourself, how important will it be in the long run? Will it matter in an hour, in a month, in a year? Is it really worth getting upset over? And if the answer is no, focus your time and energy somewhere else. And then adjust your standards. Perfectionism is a major source of avoidable stress. Stop setting yourself up for failure by demanding perfection. Set reasonable standards for yourself and others, and learn to be okay with good enough sometimes. And then practice gratitude. When stress is getting you down, take a moment to reflect on all the things you can appreciate in your life, including your own positive qualities and gifts, and this can be the hardest. This simple strategy can help you keep things in perspective. And finally, accept the things you can't change. Some sources of stress are just unavoidable. You can't prevent or change stressors such as the death of a loved one, a serious illness, or a national crisis. In such cases, the best way to cope with stress is to accept things as they are. Acceptance may be really difficult, but in the long run, it's easier than railing against a situation you can't change. Don't try to control the uncontrollable. Many things in life are beyond our control, particularly the behavior of other people. Rather than stressing out over them, focus on things you can control, such as the way you choose to react to problems. Look for the upside. When facing major challenges, try to look at them as opportunities for personal growth. If your own poor choices contributed to a stressful situation, reflect on them and learn from your mistakes. And learn to forgive. Accept the fact that we live in an imperfect world and that people are going to make mistakes. Let go of anger and resentments and free yourself from negative energy by forgiving and moving on. Share your feelings. Expressing what you're going through can be very cathartic. Even if there's nothing you can do to alter the stressful situation, talking to a trusted friend or making an appointment with a therapist can be a really great solution here. Now I want to talk about some other self-care strategies you can do to take care of your whole body, which will help you to take care of your mind and your stress level. The first is to move mindfully. By upping your activity level, you're providing one tactic you can employ right now to help relieve stress and start to feel better. And that's because regular exercise can lift your mood and serve as a distraction from worries, allowing you to break out of the cycle of negative thoughts that feed stress. And rhythmic exercises like walking, running, swimming, and dancing are particularly effective at stress reduction, especially if you exercise mindfully, meaning you're focusing your attention on the physical sensations you experience as you move. Another great tip is to connect with others. The simple act of talking face-to-face or over the phone where you can hear someone's voice is another way you can trigger feel-good hormones that relieve stress when you're feeling agitated or insecure. Even just a brief exchange of kind words or a friendly look from another human being can help calm and soothe your nervous system. So spend time with people who improve your mood and don't let your responsibilities keep you from having a social life. If you don't have any close relationships or your relationships are the source of your stress, make it a priority to build stronger and more satisfying connections with those around you. The next is learn to relax, and this is a hard one. You can't completely eliminate stress from your life, but you can control how much it affects you. Relaxation techniques like yoga, meditation, deep breathing actually activate the body's relaxation response, a state of restfulness that's polar opposite of that stress response. And when practiced regularly, these activities can reduce your everyday stress levels and boost feelings of joy and calm. They also increase your ability to stay calm and collected under pressure. The next is to eat a healthy diet. The food you eat can actually improve or worsen your mood and affect your ability to cope with life stress. Eating a diet full of processed and convenience foods, refined carbs, and sugary snacks can actually worsen the symptoms of stress. While a diet rich in fresh fruit and vegetables, high-quality protein, and omega-3 fatty acids can help you better cope with life's ups and downs. And don't forget to hydrate throughout the day as well. A good rule of thumb is to divide your body weight in half, and that's generally how many ounces of water you should get a day. So a 200-pound person should have about 100 ounces of water every day. And then, of course, get plenty of rest. Feeling tired increases stress by causing you to think more irrationally. I know that this is so true. And at the same time, chronic stress can actually disrupt your sleep, so it turns into a very vicious cycle. Whether you're having trouble falling asleep or staying asleep at night, there are plenty of ways to improve your sleep so you feel less stressed and more productive and emotionally balanced. And become more self-aware of your emotions by stopping for a brief, mindful moment when you're feeling a strong emotion. Really think about where this emotion is stemming from. For example, maybe you're feeling angry, but when you stop to explore that emotion, you learn that you're frustrated by a response from a coworker. Stopping and thinking about what is causing negative thoughts and feelings can help you uncover what's truly troubling you and how your own behavior may be impacting these emotions. Interestingly, it's important to note that everyone experiences situations differently. Something that made you feel frustrated could instill fears of rejection or anxiety in someone else. And then I want to finish here with a simple grounding exercise. This technique, called the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise, will take you through your 5 senses to help remind you of the present. This is a very calming technique that can help you get through tough or stressful situations in the moment. Let's stop here and take a deep belly breath to begin. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Settle into your seat comfortably here and stop and begin to notice your senses. Continuing to breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now pause and notice 5 things you can see around you. It could be a chair in front of you, the tiles on the floor, the light coming through the window. 5 things you can see. Now notice 4 things you can touch. It could be the fabric of your clothes, carpet beneath your feet, the coolness of the table in front of you. Noting 4 things you can touch. Now noticing 3 things you can hear. Maybe it's the hum of the air conditioning or the heat. Maybe it's a pet snoring in the background. Maybe it's traffic outside the window. 3 things you can hear. Now pay attention to 2 things you can smell. Maybe there's an air freshener or fresh coffee being made. Just pausing briefly and noting 2 things you can smell. And finally, noting 1 thing you can taste. Maybe it's the tea that you have or a mint. Noting that 1 thing and how it tastes. And this is a really simple exercise in the moment to bring you back to the present moment when your emotions are reeling and your behavior could be erratic. Go to this 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise. And I want to end here with some resources that are fantastic for mental health and stress management. One is helpguide.org. The other is mhanational.org/screening-tools and has fantastic assessments on mental health issues. And then 2 apps, Headspace and Insight Timer for meditation, which can be great for dealing with stress and helping you get better quality sleep. If you're looking for more information, please visit our website, walshduffield.com, and I hope today provided you with further insight on how to manage your own stress. Thank you.